me!
This foolishness ends here, Lord Silvio.
Die with honor. Do not sully the repute of the High Houses any longer.
And just what good will honor do for me? For anyone? You refused to hand over Roland and received nothing. For your honor, you were attacked, isolated, and betrayed. Even if you kill me, nothing will change. Your deaths are inevitable. History will look back and laugh at the fall of House Wolffort, who could not see past their own noses.
Are those your final words?
No, not quite. Now, Rufus!
You'd better pay me, Silvio.
As long as I live, so shall the High Houses. Rest assured of that as you go to your graves.
One might almost admire his tenacity.
In any case, I am sure we can overcome any difficulties that await us.
Indeed. Glenbrook shall not fall, and neither will House Wolffort.
Leave it when I open.
At the end of the battle against House Wolffort, Lord Silvio of Telior leaves the field defeated. The victors, however, do not go by unscathed, repeated battles taking their toll on the soldiers. All goes according to Gustadolf's plan to weaken both houses. Landroy Falls, Lord of the Third of Glenbrook's High Houses, faces off against General of Laura.
Part 3, Light and Shadow. Are we gonna go Landroy's Aid now?
I must survive. Somehow, I must survive. Ah!
Escaping all on your own, I see.
Rufus, what are you doing here?
I came to collect my reward.
Reward? Since when were losers ever rewarded?
I remember our deal differently.
As do I. I was promised an invincible executioner. You are nothing but a fraud. A sheep in wolf's clothing. What's so funny?
I have a new deal for you. Pay me what I'm owed or die.
I cannot give you what I do not possess. But if you kill me now, you will have lost to Wolffort with nothing to show for it.
Go on.
If you let me live, on the other hand, I will find the coin to pay you. What do you say? We have a deal?
Fine. But if I don't get that money, consider your life forfeit.
Okay.
Far too much blood has been spilled.
I know how loyal you were to the late King Regna. We may be enemies, but you still have my respect. I would invite you to join our ranks.
You would dishonor me so.
I prefer it to your death.
Save your pity for someone who needs it. Your master will never have our loyalty, even if it means the end of the 3 high houses.
Nope, he's just dead.
I serve you even in death.
Yeah, it's no matter what Landor dies, either we kill him or Evora kills him.
His plot foiled and bested in battle by House Wolffort, Silvio Tellior flees, leaving everything behind. House Volks fights valiantly, but ultimately loses to General Avlora's army, and joins their late king in death. Of Glenbrook's 3 high houses, Wolffort, Tellior, and Volks, 2 are felled by the iron hammer of Aesfrost. House Wolffort now stands alone, in more peril than ever.
Basically, no matter which option you take, either surrender Roland or pick up Roland, you're dead.
So, 2 of Glenbrook's 3 high houses have fallen. Aesfrost's invasion took me by surprise at first, but this is quite the interesting turn.
Now Wolffort stands alone, having lost both the crown and its allies. There is no better time for us to act.
Then let us set the trap, brimming with bait enough to lure them in and keep them there.
As you command. The famed High House of the Salt Iron War will soon be under your thumb, my lord. Having control of their land will make our deliveries that much easier.
Indeed, and House End will prosper more than ever. Brute strength is not the only path to victory. A truly wise man can win without ever drawing his sword.
Lovely.
My lord, a bird from Sorsley End of Hyzant has arrived. He has offered to send us provisions and funds in light of our situation.
A most welcome offer, to be sure, but why would he extend a helping hand to us now? Could he be after something?
Yes.
Undoubtedly, there are regrettably none so altruistic amongst the Saintly Seven. Seeing as Minister Sorsley has never shown much interest in other nations, I can only surmise this is a ploy to put House Wolffort in his debt.
As I suspected. But our people and soldiers need all the help they can get. Let us accept his proposal. We can deal with whatever ulterior motives he may have once we are back on our feet.
Understood. We shall discuss our countermeasures at another time.
They even resort to the scale at that time. So part 3 was just a resolution. It's not like it's going to. No, we're still in part 3? I guess we are.
Congratulations on your victory in the Volks domain, General.
Thank you, sir. They were proud warriors. And Lord Landroy a formidable foe despite his age.
I imagine he was content to breathe his last on his beloved fields. 30 years have passed since the Salt Iron War. It was time he was put to rest beside that bygone era. Avlora, It is time you had a rest as well.
What do you mean by that, Your Grace?
Your soldiers have fought long and hard. Any longer and their morale may suffer for it.
But what of House Wolffort? Prince Roland is still with them. Is that not cause for concern?
There are no lords left worth worrying about. House Wolffort stands alone after Roland's uprising.
Even so, we would do well not to underestimate them. Even standing alone, they once changed the course of the Salt Iron War.
House Wolffort is no longer the hunter, but the hunted. Or do you believe you understand something that I do not, General?
No. Forgive me, Your Grace.
You wish to speak to me, Your Highness?
I wish to leave the Wolffort domain.
And you want me to persuade Lord Serenoa?
Yes. Though I doubt he will welcome the conversation after the scales have spoken. But the people are tired. Their expressions grim. And this castle is no different.
Even so, the decision was made together.
Yes. But I think we all know that I am at the source of our troubles. The responsibility ultimately falls to me.
If you truly wish to take responsibility, then I do have an idea.
And I would hear it.
Give me that ring.
But this is proof that I belong to the royal family. What would you do with it?
Have you die for your people.
Interesting.
Hey, boss, come take a look at this.
The poor soul. Or maybe not so poor, judging by these clothes.
Hey, Pa! Remember what I said about that reward money?
Of course I do. This might just be him.
Pa, take a look at this!
Shiny ring, huh? Is that the royal emblem? This has got to be Prince Roland.
It's not Prince Roland. He
The corpse is regrettably too damaged to identify, but the royal signet is unmistakable. Aside from Cordelia, there is only one who would wear the royal family's ring. There can be no doubt. This is Prince Roland.
Excuse me, Your Grace, but about that reward.
Thalas, give them their coin.
Yes, brother.
Thank you kindly for your generosity, Your Grace.
What a waste. Is this truly how the kingdom of Glenbrook meets its end?
House Wolffort are no fools. Their friend was only a liability. They have spared themselves by forsaking the prince. They may have escaped, but there are none who would help them. There is no reason for us to concern ourselves with House Wolffort any longer.
A shame.
Okay, so I think that's how it works. Is that
Your poor brother, betrayed by his most trusted friend. Oh, Roland.
Yeah, I think this happens in each route. So even if you side with them, they still fake Roland's death in a different way, so that way he can rejoin you. But you're left out with Roland for 2 chapters.
The news of Prince Roland's death spreads across the land like wildfire. With his demise, seemingly comes the end of the Kingdom of Glenbrook. But only days later, a proclamation is made that would bind Aesfrost and Glenbrook. Bearer of the royal signet and last heir to the throne of Glenbrook, Cordelia is to ascend as queen.
Is Gustav gonna marry her?
And wed.
Yeah. Oh boy. Chapter 9, Part 1, Dwindling Light. Yep. So his goal here is to marry Cordelia.
Princess Cordelia is to wed the Archduke? What is the meaning of this? Gustadolf is the very one who invaded Glenbrook.
But King Regna is to blame for trying to monopolize the mines.
What does it matter who the princess weds as long as Glenbrook lives on?
It damn well matters to me.
My people, our days of late have been dark and filled with strife. Both Glenbrook and Aesfrost have suffered countless losses, and we have lost both of our beloved princes. For that, I offer you my deepest condolences. May they all rest in peace. As you all know, my father was sentenced to death for his role in this tragic event. But how do we come to grips with our sorrow and anger? How do we atone for our mistakes?
Aesfrost does not deserve your forgiveness. Do not submit to Gustadolf's will.
Let us recognize our sins as such and move forward. Archduke Gustadolf has magnanimously given us another chance. A chance to see Glenbrook to a fair and free future. As the queen of this kingdom, I, Cordelia of House Glenbrook, do hereby accept the warmth and governance of Aesfrost, and swear to do everything in my power to usher in an age of peace with the Archduke.
No, there's no choice.
With all due respect, sir, I do not believe Queen Cordelia to be fit for ruling Glenbrook.
She does not need to be. She is to be our figurehead, a place for the people to focus both their hope and discontent.
Exactly. That's the whole
And while
point.
the poor people of Glenbrook stumble in the dark, we shall establish a new government, one based in freedom. Once the people have had a taste of true freedom Aesfrost would offer them, there will be no turning back. By the time Cordelia births an heir, both this kingdom and its people will belong solely to Aesfrost.
I would be loath to stand upon a political battlefield. It is far more heartless than those of war.
I am simply breathing new life into a kingdom of tired traditions. The people will thank me for it in time.
We'll believe it. I'll believe when I see it. She's only doing it because she has to. She doesn't have a choice.
Father, my brothers, I swear to avenge you.
She's not going along with it. She's only doing it out of She's only doing it because she has to. She doesn't have a choice.